Welcome to the October 16, 2023 meeting of Gaston County Board of Education. I'm Jeff Ramsey, Chairman of the Board, and we would like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. To my left is our Vice Chair, Dot Cherry, and at this time I would ask the other members of the board to introduce themselves.
Lee Dedman, Gastonia Township.
Josh Crisp, Dallas Township.
Robbie Lovelace, Cherryville Township.
Todd Kinlaw, South Point Township.
Dot Guthrie, Gastonia Township.
Brent Moore, Crowders Mountain Township.
Thank you. Our first order of business is to have our invocation and pledge of allegiance to the flag. I would like to ask our Superintendent, Dr. Laws, to lead us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This devotional thought comes from Walking in Grace, which used to be Daily Guideposts. They changed the name of the publication, from October 7th. It was the middle of the day, and I was rummaging around in the refrigerator, looking for something to eat. I reached for some yogurt, but I pulled it out. As I pulled it out, it bumped a half a cup of cold coffee that my wife, Carol, had left there to go with her lunch. At once, coffee spilled down through the layers of food and into the produce drawer. Sound familiar to anybody? I grabbed the cup, but it was too late. What a disaster. I knelt there on the kitchen floor with a sponge and a roll of paper towels, taking out one jar after another, wiping them off, putting them on a dish towel on the floor before taking out the rack and the drawers. Who knew that we had 5 water bottles all lined up, not to mention a jar of mayonnaise way past its expiration date, along with one that was more recent, plus some hot sauce, yes, past its expiration date, that we never used. What a bounty! What excess! No wonder shelf space seemed so limited. After some scrubbing and consulting with the inventory expert, who was my wife Carol, I put everything back. Well, not everything, just the stuff we needed, the stuff we used, the stuff that was still good. The produce, in fact, looked fine after a bit of cleaning, and the refrigerator itself had never looked better. I wiped the sides and the front and then closed the door, opened it one more time just to check it, and frankly, to admire my handiwork. The 20-year-old refrigerator gleamed like we had just bought it and filled it, or half filled it up. Sometimes disasters can be a blessing in disguise. Depends on what you do with them. Let's pause for a moment of prayer and reflection. Thank you. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Laws. Our next order of business is to adopt the agenda. Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda? Mr. Chris, motion second by Mr. Dedman. All in favor? The agenda is adopted. Our next order of business is to hear good news happening in our schools. Mr. Todd Hagens, what's the good news you have to share today?
Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, and Dr. Laws, we have several good news items to share with you this evening for the month of October. First, we would like to invite Robinson Elementary kindergarten teacher Whitney Marr to come forward at this time. In May, Ms. Marr was named our 2023-24 Linda Rader New Teacher of the Year for Gaston County Schools. This is a significant honor, and we congratulate Ms. Marr on winning this award. Recently, we had the opportunity to stop by Robinson Elementary to surprise Ms. Marr and let her know that she has been chosen as our nominee for the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching's Beginning Teacher of the Year Award. This state award is intended to recognize new teachers who have successfully completed their first full year of teaching in the classroom and demonstrate potential as outstanding teachers and leaders in education. Each school district has the opportunity to nominate a candidate for the state honor, and from all of the nominees, 27 regional finalists will be chosen. In February, the finalists will visit the NCAT headquarters in Cullowhee for a week of professional development. The professional development activities culminate with the announcement of the North Carolina Beginning Teacher of the Year for 2024. We believe Ms. Marr is a contender for the state award, and we are so proud to have her representing Gaston County Schools in the state competition.
I had the pleasure, along with several other board members this spring, to watch Whitney win the Beginning Teacher of the Year award at the Shield Museum, and she was just eluded with just filled with excitement and had the best acceptance speech. I wish she could do it again. But you probably have it with you. Do you want to do it again?
No, I'm okay.
She knows I'm playing with her. She is a phenomenal teacher. All of our beginning teachers are phenomenal teachers. All of our teachers are phenomenal. I know she's going to bring back that state award to us. Her mom's a teacher at Forest View, so runs in the family.
Real close to Miss Cherry.
One big family. Yes.
All right.
You go to Cullowhee, learn a lot, and bring up that prize.
Do
Okay.
my best.
Next, we would like to recognize Jamie Welch, who is a school nurse at Webb Street School. Recently, Ms. Welch was named the 2023 Bright Star Care National Nurse of the Year for the Southeast region. Even though Ms. Welch works with us as a contracted employee from Bright Star Care, the Bright Star Care Company, Webb Street School Principal Chris Mills considers her as part of the school family, and we agree. Ms. Welch consistently goes the extra mile, ensuring the success of her students and all others. For example, she recently helped create beautiful artwork for a school fundraiser and built a blessing box for the school's food pantry. In her nomination letter, Ms. Welch is recognized for having a positive attitude and a willingness to help others. She always has a smile on her face, and she goes out of her way to support the Webb Street School family every day, no matter what the tasks. We congratulate Jamie Welch for earning this national recognition for the Southeast region, and we thank her for her care and contributions to Webb Street School. And Ms. Welch, I believe that you have one of your students with us today that we will include in the photograph, but we'll let Ms. Cherry make the presentation right now.
Jamie, we are so proud of you, and I know everybody here will agree, we can't do without our nurses. They are phenomenal additions to our staff and so needed. And thank you for what you do every day for our students at Webb Street.
Thank
So,
you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You gotta just scoot down just a little bit. There you go. All right. And one more. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Let's give her one more round of applause.
Next, we would like to recognize the Unified Champion School Club at Ashbrook High School. Recently, the club earned the National Banner School title, which is a special recognition from the Special Olympics for promoting inclusion in both the school and the community. And we would like to ask the students to come forward at this time. We are pleased to recognize the Unified Champion School Club from Ashbrook High School. Over the past 2 years, the club has organized various activities like sporting events, social gatherings, fundraisers, games, and academic programs with a focus on including everyone. Right now, they are making crafts to sell at the Exceptional Children's Conference in Greensboro this fall, and they are planning a unified kickball game to bring together students with and without intellectual disabilities. Ashbrook is the first school in Gaston County to receive this award from the Special Olympics, and we would like to thank the students and staff at Ashbrook for their outstanding commitment to inclusion.
On behalf of the Gaston County School Board, I want to say thank you for what you do, and thank you for investing in these young folks. And I look forward to seeing you guys up here more often. So here you go. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Are you on it? Are you gonna go?
Dr. Rebecca Wilson, the principal at Ashbrook High School, is with us. And we have some other staff members.
Two of our assistant principals.
Assistant principals
Yeah.
from Ashbrook that will add to that photograph.
Thank you.
That's my second favorite color.
Cheese? Everybody, big smile.
We good? Everybody?
Good, big smile, big smile.
All right.
Okay, that game's empty.
Thank you, Todd. Do you have anything else? One more, okay.
To conclude our good news this evening, we would like to present the Superintendent's Unsung Hero Award, and we would like to invite Sandra Smith from Ashbrook High School to come forward. This is Sandra Smith from Ashbrook High School. During a recent visit to Ashbrook, Dr. Laws saw Ms. Smith in action in the front office, and she took command of a situation to provide good customer service and support for a parent. Later, Dr. Laws learned about many other great things that Mrs. Smith does on a regular basis, and I would like to turn it over to Dr. Laws to share more.
Yeah, I don't have a script for this. This is from the heart. So I was over, Ms. Smith, you'll remember, no, you probably forgot, but I was over before school started, and the students were coming in, they were registered. We had some of our athletes and some of our cheerleaders, and you were just calming the whole world. And so I went and saw Dr. Wilson, and I said, where did you get that lady? And she told me your story to the extent that she could, and we were so blessed. Well, it didn't end there because Dr. Wilson sent me another memo of some parents that you've been working with, and she said it's just like that every day. And you know, we we have so much traffic in school, and our ability to calm the waters, to calm the people, to let them know that they're loved and cared for. I'm just amazed at you, and I am so thankful that you work for Gaston County Schools.
Dr. Laws, I also had the pleasure of going over there, and that same smile is there everybody that comes in the door. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, I
Get a
appreciate
picture.
it.
You got anybody here? Bring the whole crowd up here. You want to get it in?
Yeah,
We'll go to that and take pictures. How about that? We'll go to that.
Yeah, if one of you give me, I can put it in the phone or take your phone, take that with you. All right, everybody sway. All right, and smile. I think it's one of you up there by yourself. Good job. Mr. Devlin, I need my.
Mr. Laws. Oh, Mr. Wilson's coming in.
I miss anybody else.
Well, I don't know. It's him. Yeah, two of my sisters.
Y'all know her too.
We were in the other day.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
And one more. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, that completes our good news recognition for the month of October.
Okay. Thank you again, Todd, and all of our good news you shared with us. Next item on the agenda is our classroom moment. Our teachers and students do amazing things each day in our schools. The agenda item gives us the opportunity to share some of those, what's going on in our school systems. And we wanted the board and the audience, and especially our TV audience, to see what we're doing. Superintendent Laws.
Thank you,
What
Mr.
do you
Chair.
have?
Tonight is an exciting night. We're going to learn about some PDEA and other things. So I recognize Diane Price, our AIG coordinator, to introduce our program tonight.
Yes, sir. Greetings, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, Superintendent Laws, and guests. I am Diane Price. I'm the director of AIG, and it is my privilege to be here tonight with you all. And I thank you for the opportunity to share some of the great things that are happening at AIG at two of our academy schools, Pleasant Ridge Gifted and Talented Academy and Cramerton Middle.
So I'm Kevin Doran, the proud principal of Cramerton Middle School, and I'm here with Bridget Best, who's the proud principal of Pleasant Ridge Elementary, and 6 of our wonderful students. Bram Comer, Jaden Branch, Grace Kuchera, Christian Carthen, Kendrick Frazier, and Elizabeth Weekly. Today, we will show you the magic of PDEA Seminar. So you may be asking yourself, what is PDEA? A PDEA Seminar is a unique instructional tool that combines reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing. Students will collaborate to gain a greater understanding of ideas and values in a text. During a seminar, students participate in intellectual dialogue facilitated by open-ended questions. I recall the first time I saw PDEA at Cramerton Middle School. I observed one of our 7th grade classrooms and heard students carrying on with an insightful and enlightening conversation. The discussion was rigorous. There were great points being made that the students were backed up by research and by evidence. There was a strong emotion in the room, and even though there was some disagreement, it was an environment where feelings and thoughts were respected by all students. They were all able to be heard. Most notable, there was a level of understanding, engagement, comfort, and civility. I was so impressed with what I saw, I realized in that moment that there is power in the Paideia model. Paideia Seminar has become the foundation for the Gifted and Talented Academies at Pleasant Ridge and at Cramerton. Not only do we want our students to learn the content, we want them to be able to use what they've learned, see how it applies to their lives, understand how it will help them later on in high school, college, the workplace, and in life. So, what are the results so far? Combined with our wonderful teachers and students, Paideia Seminar has been essential to our success. Last year, CMS ranked in the top 4% of the state in student growth. We are one of only 17 traditional 6 through 8 middle schools in the state to receive a perfect 100 growth score. And among all middle schools in the state of North Carolina, we are in the top 17 for academic achievement. We are extremely proud of what we've accomplished and consider Paideia Seminar to be one of our key elements. Now, at this time, I'd like to show you a video produced by our AIG department. I'm Kevin Doran, the proud principal of Cramerton Middle School. We are a nationally certified Paideia Seminar school, and only one of 2 in the state of North Carolina. This type of learning is the leading force for the Gifted and Talented Academy at Cramerton Middle School.
If you're an individual and you're, working at something and you're going against another person, one mistake individually, because you don't have a team of people to back you up.
I think in this situation, it's more talking about like where you came from and the little things that you were taught as a child, and that if you let those slip, then sometimes stuff comes collapsing down.
And Paideia is a shared experience between students and adults where we engage in a collaborative discussion based on a text that we've all read.
Others as you want to be treated is more of a generalized term and grouping for other people.
How do you think it's generalized?
Have you not heard since you were young, treat others as you want to be treated, but then for your family, you want to care about them. For your friends, you want to care about them.
Students have the opportunity to lead the discussion and make meaning of what they've read together and share their interpretations in an environment that is not teacher-led, it is student-led, and they build off of the ideas that they all come up with about the text.
And in the classroom, it helps me understand other people's ideas and opinions, so that way I can come up with my own or collaborate with them to create better ideas and opinions.
And whenever you're in a Paideia seminar, whenever you hear their ideas and you can understand how they feel about a subject, you get to know a lot more about a person. And I think it's really advanced my relationships with a lot of the people in my class.
One of the more memorable seminars I was in was the Love Languages seminar, but it wasn't as much about love, but more about building off of other people's skill sets that may have skills that aren't the same as yours. And it could apply to more than just, a relationship. It could be a team. And a team is, most of the time, a team is a lot of people with different skill sets that don't do the same thing. So that can really help you a lot throughout life.
I think before Paideia, I really didn't know what I could really think. I thought I did, because I thought I was the smartest person in the world. Frankly, I did. But after Paideia, I realized other people can think just as critically, if not more critically than I can. So now I'm much more humble, and I think much more about everything I do. And I realized that I would not have done that if it wasn't for Paideia. Paideia made me think more about what I do in my daily life, and it made me think more about how I reason things.
So one of the seminars that we did today was the 10 Principles of Life. And one of them was not letting things slide and taking action on things when they do happen. So in the past, we've just let things keep happening and let them slide, and we haven't taken action right when they occurred. But now we can take that into today's society with especially bullying and taking action on it right when it occurs and not just letting it keep going and keep going.
I'm Kevin Doran, the proud principal of Cramerton Middle School.
By the way, when he said CMS, he meant Cramerton Middle School, not Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools.
That's right.
Just to clarify.
Thank you. All right, so this evening, Miss Best and our students will take part in a demonstration seminar for you. The seminar is based on the poem Doors by Carl Sandburg. In a typical seminar, there are preliminary and post-seminar tasks to be completed. The pre-work and analysis was completed prior to here this evening. Here you will see a snippet of what a 45-minute seminar would look like in one of our classrooms. At this time, I present Ms. Best, who will facilitate a model seminar with our combined elementary and middle school students.
We are super excited, and I am going to set the stage for you all for what you will observe this evening. I am primarily responsible for asking challenging, open-ended questions, and I will take a variety of notes to keep up with the talk turns and the flow of ideas of our students. I will help move the discussion along in a productive direction and make follow-up questions when needed. I'm asking you to think, to listen, and speak candidly about your thoughts, reactions, and your ideas. You can help each other do this by using each other's names, hence the name tags. You do not need to raise your hand in order to speak. Rather, the discussion is collaborative and that you try to stay focused on the main speaker and wait your turn to talk. You should try to do both agreeing and disagreeing in a courteous and thoughtful manner. For example, you might say, I disagree with Grace because, focusing on the ideas involved and not the individuals. Part of the pre-work tonight that we've completed this afternoon in preparation for tonight's seminar was to allow our students to set their personal goals for this moment. The purpose of setting a personal goal is for students to identify an area of growth and hold themselves accountable to meeting this goal through their personal contributions to the seminar. We will now go around the circle to share their personal goal with you tonight. We will begin with Bram and go around.
My personal goal here is to contribute meaningfully to the discussion.
My personal goal is to refer to the text at least 2 times.
My personal goal is to build on and interact with others and their comments and ideas.
My personal goal is to understand or respond to others' responses.
My personal goal is to make reasonable statements or refer to the text.
My personal goal is to base my answers off other statements.
Another component of Paideia is establishing a group goal. Our team of students have discussed and agreed upon a group goal, and the goal for this seminar is to provide concise and focused responses to one another. I'm going to begin by reading the poem for our audience as we get prepared to begin the seminar. An open door says, "Come in." A shut door says, "Who are you?" Shadows and ghosts go through shut doors. If a door is shut and you want it shut, why open it? If a door is open and you want it open, why shut it? Doors forget, but only doors know what it is doors forget. I will now take my seat and join the students to facilitate our seminar. All right, students, we are going to begin with our round robin question. We'll start again with you, Bram. And our first question is, which door from the text do you relate with the most? An open door or a shut door?
Open.
I'd say open.
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 Shut.
Why?
I relate to an open door because I try to let ideas flow freely through me and to let people talk to me openly. I try to be an open door, be an open opportunity for people to express themselves.
I feel like I'm an open door because I would like to let people into my heart by expressing my feelings with them easily and letting people into my heart.
I feel like an open door, and I feel like an open door because of both of your reasons, Bram and Christian.
I think of myself as an open door because I'm both open to new thoughts and experiences and opinions, as both Christian and Bram stated, but I would also say it's because of my perspective on life. I usually see things as glass half full versus glass half empty, and yeah.
I say I'm an open door because I like to do new things, and when you do that, it's kind of like your door is open to new experiences.
I agree with Kendrick because, like he said, an open door, I'm trying to stay as positive as I can and be open to everything I can be open to.
I would say I'm a shut door because I really stick to one. I'm like the most outgoing person, and something I really struggle with is trying new things. So I feel like as of right now, I'm more of a shut door.
If the doors of our school could talk, what would they say?
Okay. If the doors of Pleasant Ridge Elementary School could talk, they would say, "Come in. You are welcome here, and we hope that you do your best."
I think they will say that come in, because they will want to make you feel as welcome as possible and make you excited for school as much as possible, because teachers and other staff members will want you to continue through school so you can get a good education and get a good job when you get older.
I agree. I think at Cramerton, the doors would tell you about past students and what they've done in the classroom, what they've done that's good and what they've done that's educational. Because Cramerton Middle School is an educational place, a place where you learn and a place where you facilitate new experiences.
At Cramerton Middle School, I think the doors would both advise, encourage, and help us understand what to do better, and speak about other students' experiences, like Bram said.
I agree with Grace. I feel like the doors will encourage you to be open to the learning experience, while at the same time advising you on what to do and what not to do to make your education as best as possible.
I feel like if the doors at our school could talk, I think they would, if it's your first time there, I think they would say welcome with a warm smile if they had a face. And it'd just be overall nice and happy.
The doors of the school may also question why we do certain things, why we say certain things, and to understand why it differs from maybe previous students, or how we got to that conclusion or that point in our lives.
I think the doors of our school would also be trying to encourage you to do good even when you're at your lows. Like when you see bad about school or don't want to come to school, I think the doors would say, school is good for you. You want to stay in school. You want to carry school throughout your personal life. And so that way you could do good when you get older, and it doesn't have to be hard.
Okay, what does the author mean? In the last two lines of the poem, take a look at those last two lines of the poem. Doors forget, but only doors know what it is doors forget. What does the author mean in those last two lines?
I believe the author is trying to personify the doors as they did in the first two lines, and speak about how people only know their own experiences, and if we don't remember our own experiences, who's going to know about those? And if we don't know what other people are going through, it's just, you gotta take time to understand others.
I think what it means is that doors forget, but only doors know what it is doors forget, is that you would have an opportunity or experience, but you would forget about it later in your life. So I feel like that it means that you shouldn't pass up on an experience or forget about it that quick. You shouldn't think ahead of the experience or opportunity that you're getting.
So you're saying like live in the moment?
Yeah, basically, because you don't want to overthink. You don't want to overthink about the opportunity you're getting. So you don't really want to think ahead of what the opportunity. Think ahead about what you're gonna do with the opportunity.
So just take things as they are to you.
Mhm.
Don't hesitate.
Don't
I
hesitate, yeah.
really agree with you.
I agree too.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I agree with you too because like you need to do stuff that is given to you. If you have a chance and you really want to take that chance, then go take it, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
I agree with Christian because if you do have a really good opportunity that you really want for a long time, why would you hesitate to go for that opportunity?
Yeah.
Be willing to pursue anything that, though it may be hard, any opportunity that's given to you or any option that you're given in life because you may not have it later on.
I agree with Grace because I feel like you shouldn't hesitate and you should go ahead and take the chance while you have it, because if you don't know when you're gonna get another chance.
Going off of what Christian said, on the 2 lines before it says if a door is open and you want it open, why shut it? Basically meaning that if you have the opportunity, what's the point in not taking it? You have to take your opportunities in life.
Yeah, I think the open doors are opportunities that you have now, and the shut doors are opportunities that you used to have, past opportunities. And this other line here, shadows and ghosts go through shut doors. I think it's because shadows and ghosts are what things you've done in the past. So they are going through these past opportunities. You can't go for these past opportunities anymore. You have to go for things you have now, the open doors, the open opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that there are some innate doors that are shut and open, and as time goes on, either we have doors open, but as time goes on, they shut if we make choices, or they're left open. Because if we don't give ourselves the opportunity, like not going to school or not working through different programs or taking chances, then you're going to lose options that you may have in the future.
I agree with Bram and Grace because I feel like that a shut door is basically a chance that you passed up on, and you wouldn't want to pass up a chance when you have that great chance to do whatever that great chance is. And I wouldn't want to pass up on that because I feel like it could change your life so much, but you pass up on it. It's like you just blown off another opportunity.
Something I noticed was on shadows and ghosts go through shut doors. Yeah, I think shadows and ghosts represent dead dreams.
Yeah, I think they're past opportunities or past things that you didn't quite gather up your courage at the right time to take.
I think they're dead opportunities because sometimes when you have an opportunity, when you have a shut door and an opportunity, sometimes you get it back, sometimes you don't. I feel like when you get a shut door and you get another opportunity, that's just another experience or another chance to not remake, but get another chance at the opportunity. And I feel like a shut door when you can't get another chance is where it's a dead dream and you really should have went with it when you could have.
Students, I'd like to thank you for your focus and thoughtful participation in our seminar. As you can see, it gets heated and we can do this all night. Students, please remain seated.
As you've observed this evening, the seminar approach moves our school beyond just learning. It challenges our students to focus on analyzing, processing, questioning, and applying knowledge so they are better students in school, but better people in the community. Thank you all so much for your time and attention as we continue to push our students toward excellence and foster their curiosity and love for continuous learning. Thank you.
Can you bring him around, we'll introduce him? And I know, I'm gonna give Miss Guthrie the first comments after that.
I think we should have a photo. Yeah. Get it back so we can get a picture. Like this.
Watch out for the cord, please.
I think in the introductions too, I want to make sure that everybody knows that Ms. Best, Bridget Best, is the principal at Pleasant Ridge, and then you met Kevin as well. So we're so proud of our principals and the teachers at those schools, and thankful, very thankful.
Go back, yeah, kind of scoot over between those two kids. You're good. And then there you go. Perfect.
Are y'all smiling?
And one more. Thank you.
Miss Guthrie, I know you want to share the chair curriculum instruction.
Certainly. I want to say to Pleasant Ridge Elementary School and Cramerton Middle School, you won my heart because you are our future. And I'm going to quote Malcolm X, who said, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs only to the people who prepare for it today." That's what you are doing, using your higher order thinking skills. You are elevating beyond just knowledge. You're using analysis and synthesis and all of those wonderful things that you are doing. And I heard vocabulary skills. I heard decision making. I heard respect. I heard all of those things. And when we can see as well as hear those things, we want you to know that every day is a wonderful day in a classroom. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Guthrie. Our next item on the agenda allows the opportunity for public expression. This is a time when the board will hear comments from the citizens about the matters of public concern related to our school system. Our board policy sets aside the first 30 minutes of our regular monthly meeting for citizens to address the board. Before we hear from the public, let me outline the rules and procedures. Citizens wishing to make a comment and who have completed a request to speak form prior to the beginning of the meeting will be recognized by the chair and then requested to step to the microphone to make their comments. Citizens will state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Members of the board do not respond to the public expression during the public comment period. Public expressions does not allow for comments on confidential or personnel matters. Speakers who wish to give materials to the board will hand them to our clerk. The chair shall rule on all points during the public expression. Our first speaker is the City Council of Gastonia, Danielle Barber.
Good evening to you all. Again, my name is Councilwoman Danielle Barber, for those of you that I have not had the opportunity to meet. For the past 2 years, my colleagues and I have had the wonderful privilege of welcoming the Southwest Middle School football team to our council meetings to congratulate them on their hard work and winning the county championship games. The students and the families of Southwest are important to me, not just because they are residents of the city of Gastonia, but more specifically, they are residents of the ward in which I represent, Ward 6. When the players enter our council chambers, they are polite and respectful. Not that I expect anything less of them. However, it is a shining example of the leadership, guidance, and qualities of their leader, Coach Keith Rhodes. Coach Rhodes forged a partnership with me about 3 years ago, and I committed then to supporting Southwest student athletes by connecting them to volunteer opportunities, providing school supplies, and in any other way to help students be successful. I quickly learned that the program Coach Rhodes was building and leading was about much more than football, basketball, or baseball, but it's about the fact that he takes his role as a role model and advocate for our students very seriously, and it is his goal to help develop well-rounded young men, setting them on a course to be exposed to various opportunities to be successful in every area of their lives. I admire Coach Rhodes for all he has done and accomplished with the athletic program at Southwest, and I value what he has to offer. And I would hate to think of the consequences of losing him in this capacity in our community. Our children deserve such a person to speak up and advocate for them. To ever lose him, especially over nonsense in this capacity, would be a disservice to our children. Southwest Middle School and our community. Gaston County Schools has been about providing great customer service to the students and families of the system. That is accomplished through people like Coach Rhodes and school system leaders who take the time to know and learn directly from students and parents about what is in their best interests. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Barber. Ms. Dixon?
Good evening. My name is Mecca Dixon, and you did ask for my address, right? 538 Queens Road, Gastonia, North Carolina, 28052.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Parents and students, family and community members are gathered here tonight because we are outraged and, more importantly, we're disappointed. After an amazing 7-0 undefeated county championship win, we found out on Thursday, October the 12th, that our head coach and AD, Coach Keith Rhodes, was demoted. And we don't have much reason for what this is, what has been done. I must say, for the past 3 years, this coach has taken it upon himself to assure that every player receives a championship ring. He was supported by previous principals who also have those rings today. And they also acknowledged and recognized the importance of team pride. They understand what it means to these boys and our girls to be able to hold and take something home and not just a picture with a county trophy. As parents, we not only want to support the purchase of rings for our students, we also want to make sure that they get the pride and carry that pride with them everywhere they go. This was not a burden that was placed on the school. It was a parent choice. It was a parent decision. We are angered and outraged because we absolutely refuse to accept such a demotion for a person responsible for increasing the athletic budget 35% each year. for a person who, for the first time ever in any middle school program, allowed us to have high-tech digital screen scoring tables, collegiate-style protective football helmets for our team, new sport uniforms, and parents weren't asked to pay for that. We held record number of attendance at sporting events, which brings the community together, a community that is oftentimes overlooked and plenty of times underserved. And yet we have an amazing Coach Rhodes, who has been a father figure to many of our young people, encouraging them to work hard and giving them opportunities that they otherwise may not have experienced. Our challenge today is that what violation could there be that would be grounds for removing him from his AD role, but not grounds for termination? Makes you wonder. My challenge in front of you today is that you'll look deeper. You'll be curious as to what might cause a new principal to uproot and disrupt the environment of a winning team. Dr. Lewis, you just said it's an importance in calming the water. We need that.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. Miss Robinson, is she here? Joyce Robinson.
Good evening. My name is Joyce Robinson, and I'm currently employed at Gaston County as a social worker. In my line of work, I handle cases that reflect trauma, neglect, and abuse within the Gaston County community. While working in this field, it is always a need for someone that has compassion, empathy, and willing to go above and beyond of what is expected. I met Keith Rose within the community as a parent, where he was advocating for his kids within the community. He not only advocates for his kids, but he advocates for the kids within the community across the board. Mr. Rhodes is known for his dedication to his community by giving back each year with his Back to School Bash. And that includes book bags, school supplies, haircuts, kids getting their nails done, and etc. He also has a travel basketball team where he mentors kids from the age of 3rd grade and up. He also has connection with and his dedication to UNC Chapel Hill as well. The list goes on about his connection within the community and the things that he brings back to Gaston County. Mr. Rowe has always treated people fairly and provided mentorships to the young men at Southwest. There are few in between that truly understand what it is like to being raised by the street or being raised in a one-parent household. Mr. Rowe has made several efforts to help the students at Southwest see higher than what others may expect of them. I want you to take a moment and envision you standing at your front door. When you look through their front door, you can see your living room, or you may see your kitchen when you're standing at your front door. Now I want you to take a minute and envision yourself standing at your back door. While standing in your back door, now you may see the kitchen and the bedroom. No matter what window or door that you're standing at, you will get a different view. This is so true to the work that we do as professionals working in the school and with the public. We must take a step back to evaluate situations that occur in our community. We must be proactive and not reactive. We, as in a collaborative community, can be the voice of change, but we must incorporate the method of looking through that other window. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Ms. Stokes. Okay, yeah, just give it to our clerk.
School board members, Dr. Laws, Ms. Cherry, Mr. Ramsey, audience. Barbie Stokes, yes, I'm a Belmont resident. My intent tonight was to read an excerpt of a book that's in our schools, Gaston County schools. And I didn't intend to have an audience of students in the class or in the room, so I'm going to hold off on reading some of the things, but you can, with your copies there, you can read for yourself some of the excerpts on this book called Sold by Patricia McCormick. And just a brief summary, you know, you can see from the first page of that little packet I gave you, there's a content warning, rated a 5 out of 5 for content. As far as explicit content, it is about a young girl sold into the sex slave trade to pay off her family's debt. If you aren't aware of the trafficking that's going on in our world, in our country, you're living under a rock. The level of sex trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking, this book goes into great detail. I can't imagine it being in our schools, but it is. And just as to dovetail on what Ms. Robinson just said, you know, the level of trauma or abuse that some of our students here in our county experience, if they were to read this book, I mean, the idea that this could trigger, be a trigger for them, because we know those kids are out there that have mental health issues as a result. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention. And this book is in our schools because of your policies. And so my question to you is it okay with you? So I encourage you to look through the handout that I provided and wonder where we'll go from here. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stokes. Okay, and thank y'all. And the next item on the agenda is approval and correction of minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes for September the 5th, 2023 work session, September the 18th, 2023 regular meeting. Mr. Dedman makes the motion, second by Mr. Chris. All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is our National Principals Month proclamation. Now the action item, Todd Higgins.
Good evening once again. It is a pleasure to present the National Principals Month proclamation to the Board of Education for consideration and approval. At this time, I would like to read the proclamation. Whereas each year October is designated National Principals Month in recognition of principals, assistant principals, and other school administrators for their outstanding efforts to provide a quality education for every child. And whereas National Principals Month is a time to highlight the belief that the key to a student's success is a great school, and the key to a great school is a great principal. And whereas our school administrators are some of the hardest working yet often least recognized individuals who deserve praise and attention for their day-to-day operation of their school, which includes leading the instructional program and working to ensure that the school building is conducive for excellent teaching and learning in a safe and nurturing environment. And whereas we are extremely proud of our principals and assistant principals in Gaston County Schools, and we appreciate their continued dedication to our vision of inspiring success and a lifetime of learning, and also to promote the value of public school education. Now therefore be it resolved that the Gaston County Board of Education is pleased to join other boards of education across the United States in proclaiming October 2023 as National Principals Month, and invites the citizens of Gaston County to join in acknowledging, supporting, and thanking our school administrators for the care and concern they show for the children and families in our public schools. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be made a part of the minutes of the Board of Education, adopted this the 16th day of October 2023. And Mr. Chairman, we would like to ask the Board of Education to approve the proclamation for National Principals Month. And once it is approved, we have several guests with us to accept the proclamation on behalf of our principals, assistant principals, and school administrators.
All right. Thank you, Todd. This is an action item, so I will need a motion on the
Mr.
floor.
Chairman, I'll make a motion.
All right.
Second.
Second. Stevens. All in favor? That's unanimous.
And Mr. Ramsey, if you or your designee would like to come forward to present the proclamation, we have with us accepting the proclamation Justin Beam of North Belmont Elementary School, who is the current Gaston County Principal of the Year. And we also have Dr. Josh Bromley of Forest View High School, who is the current Gaston County Schools Assistant Principal of the Year.
Y'all can come up if you want. Very funny. Very Come on.
I'll put Cherry on this side. I got it here.
Okay, we'll put Ramsey on this side.
We gotta get near the.
They can probably scoot back a little bit. Just scoot back a little bit.
What you want?
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's perfect.
We're looking forward. If y'all go away, I'm perfect.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. B. Congratulations.
The next item on the agenda is our American Education Week proclamation, and again, Todd Higgins. This is the action item.
Next, I would like to present the American Education Week proclamation to the Board of Education. We are presenting the proclamation tonight since the November board meeting is scheduled for the week after American Education Week. So at this time, I would like to read the American Education Week proclamation. Whereas November the 13th through 17th, 2023 is American Education Week, and it is a time to celebrate public education and honor the people who work to ensure that all children receive a quality education. And whereas American Education Week is an annual observance that is intended to remind people of the important role that public education plays in the success of Americans and how it enhances our quality of life. And whereas the first American Education Week was observed in 1921, and since then, schools and communities have come together each year to celebrate the week with special activities and events that bring attention to public education. And whereas we are proud of our public schools in Gaston County, which serve as an integral part of our community and offer excellent opportunities for children in academics, athletics, fine arts, career and technical education, extracurricular activities, and other areas. And whereas now, more than ever, we should commit to taking advantage of the time during American Education Week to renew our commitment to public education, act as advocates for our public schools, and champion the long-held belief that public education is a pillar of democracy and the cornerstone of American opportunity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Gaston County Board of Education is proud to proclaim November 13th through the 17th, 2023 as American Education Week in Gaston County Schools, and encourages our citizens to show support for public education by expressing their appreciation for the outstanding education that our schools provide to children. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be made a part of the minutes of the Board of Education adopted this the 16th day of October 2023. And Mr. Chairman, we present this proclamation to the board for approval, and after you approve it, we have several representatives with us to accept it on behalf of our schools.
Okay. So this is action item, so I will need a motion. Mr. Dedman?
Second.
Second, Mr. Chris. All in favor? That's unanimous.
We would like for Justin Beam and Dr. Josh Bromley to join us up front again, along with our Gaston County Schools new Teacher of the Year, Whitney Marr from Robinson Elementary School, the Gaston County Schools Teacher Assistant of the Year, Belinda Lewis from Lowell Elementary School, and Curtis Poplin of our Technology Services Department, who is the current Central Office Administrator of the Year for Gaston County Schools. Our Gaston County Teacher of the Year, Melissa Clements from Belmont Middle School, had planned to be with us, but unfortunately she had a family obligation come up and could not be here this evening. So we will welcome them forward to accept the American Education Week proclamation.
On behalf of our board chair, superintendent, and board members, I am delighted to have this opportunity to present to you, our educators, our leaders, our wonderful, wonderful teachers that teach our children every day to be confident, to make great decisions, as well as to celebrate learning in the classroom as well as online. My favorite African proverb is, it takes a village to raise a child. You are here. You are part of that great village. And November is also National Family Literacy Month. And we're doing all of this together to celebrate our children in Gaston County. Thank you so very, very much. And we thank you. I give it to Mr.
Thank you.
Feels good.
Yes, God bless you.
Next item on the agenda is adoption of the 2023-2024 Gaston County School Budget Resolution. And we're actually going to get to do action on this because I heard the state finally passed their budget.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, Superintendent Laws. I'm here to present the 2023-2024 budget resolution for your adoption. As Chairman Ramsey mentioned, we now have a state budget on October 3rd. House Bill 259 passed or became law. It's the 2023 Appropriations Act, and it is the biennial budget, which covers the time frame from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024. And this will be the first year of the biennial budget. So some of the things, obviously, that are included in the budget are salary increases, and so let's start with the teachers. As you can see, the General Assembly and the state budget does provide for experience steps for our teachers. And it also has a salary increase ranging from 2% to 5.4%, depending on which step you're on. As you can see, those teachers that are on steps 15 through 24 is a plateau, and so the most, or their increase will be 2.04%. So as I mentioned, we do have experienced steps in this budget. So if you're a teacher and you were on step 5 last year, you were making $4,200 a month. You would now increase to step 6, which is now at $4,481 per month, and that is a 6.69% increase with the step and the regular increase for the budget. However, again, those experienced teachers that are in years or steps 15 through 24 are stuck at 2.04%. The General Assembly has been trying to make some efforts on raising the starting salary. They've been negligent on the more experienced teachers. But even here, you can see the starting salary now is $3,900 a month for 10 months, so $39,000. When you look at what that's been over the last 8 years and adjust that for inflation, we are still well below where we were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So back in 2015-16, the inflation-adjusted starting salary for a teacher was just under $45,000, and now, as I mentioned, it's $39,000. Also, staying on the budget, certified employees, there is no advanced degree supplement for teachers. This is something that was taken away some years ago. The House and the Senate have had differing opinions on this. The Senate opinion won this time, and there is no increase there. However, they will continue the supplement, the state supplement funds for teachers. However, we don't yet have the amount from DPI on how much our teachers will get, and we'll talk about that in a little bit later. Also, it will continue supplements for our school counselors, psychologists, and continue teacher bonuses for student performance in the AP courses, CTE classes, and grades 3 through 5 reading, and grades 4 through 8 math. The principal pay will go up 4%, as most other people will. However, next year, like I said, this is a biennial budget, so next year they will be including the pre-K students in their school enrollment. So that could tip some of these principal pay if they're right there close to the 200 ADM or 400 ADM, and you throw in some pre-K classes, it may move them to another level. So that's something I know our principals have been asking for some time, and now will put that in there next year, not this year. Also, they're reinstating or continuing the bonuses for our principals. If you're in the top 50%, or if you're a principal that's in the top 50% of student growth, you will get a bonus. Those that are in the top 5% will get $15,000, and those that are in the top 50%, $1,000, and that's graduated here based on this chart. These bonuses by state statute are due October 31st. We don't yet have the final names from DPI. We pretty much know who it's going to be. We're just waiting on those final names. Then we'll notify those principals, and we'll work to get this paid prior to the end of the month. Also, other salary increases. Assistant principals are paid on the teacher A scale plus 19%, so that will remain. So it depends on where they are in the scale. If they're on that plateau, that 15 through 24 step plateau, then they'll only get 2.04% increase as the teachers will, but they are 19% over that scale. Bus drivers will get 4%, plus the General Assembly provided some extra money. We've estimated that money will be about 2%, so we're giving bus drivers 6%. Classified and central office employees are all at 4%. And all these, again, is effective July 1st of this year. So one of the biggest disappointments in the budget is the continued funding of opportunity scholarships. This is a chart that shows the money that's going into these opportunity scholarships, and these scholarships provide money to parents to send their money to send their students to private schools. They have lessened the income restrictions and increased the amount of funds available for this program. And you can see by this scale here, 2014-15, it really didn't exist. And by 2032, 2033, it's going to grow to over $500 million in annual funds going out for parents to send their children to private schools. Also in the budget provides for $35 million of school safety grants. We will be applying for those grants. It also expands the TA to teacher program and gives additional funding for school health personnel, instructional supplies, and teacher supplements. Some of the other items is an increase in the retirement contribution rate. Last year it was at 24.5%, now it's 25.02%. Each employee puts in 6% of their own paycheck into their retirement. This is the amount that we contribute. So last year we were contributing 24.5% of their salary into the state retirement system. Now that's gone up to 25.02% that we contribute. Also, health insurance premiums are up 2.2%. Both of these increases just over 2%, much lower than they've been in the past, but that retirement rate is still extremely high, especially when you look at the county retirement rates and some others. One of the good things in this bill is that there's an out-of-state teacher license reciprocity agreement for teachers with 3 years or more of experience. They have to jump through fewer hoops than what they've had to do in the past. So that will assist us, especially being on the border of South Carolina, hopefully to be able to fill some of these open teaching positions. And also it's going to provide for funding for the school systems in arrears. That's really not going to affect us too much because our ADM has been fairly stable from year to year, absent the COVID years. This will really have a negative effect on those counties that are growing fairly quickly. But we should be okay with that. We're staying within a couple hundred students every year. And then finally, a couple other items. The EC funding cap is 13%. There's no change. And to put this in perspective, we've got just under 15% of our children identified as being EC. So we're only getting funding for 13%, so that other almost 2% of students that require EC services is not being funded by the state. We're having to fund that locally or through some other means. Next year, they're talking about developing a weighted funding model, and this is something unique. So, depending on the needs of the child, will impact whether the funding, increases. And that's something that we've yet to see, but it sounds like it's coming in the near future. They also reduced our at-risk allotment, or 069 allotment, by $7 million. They're asking us to apply for those funds now, as opposed to being allotted those funds. Obviously, we will apply for any grant that we feel that we're, that we need and that will help assist our children. Just provides for more work for us to have to go apply for funds that we were directly allotted in the past. And then finally, AIG funding cap will remain flat at 4%.
Mr. Hoskins, how did they determine before the allotment on the at-risk?
It's a complicated formula, different, whether you're tier 1, tier 2 counties, your free and reduced lunch and things like that, how they identify at-risk children. So now that we have a state budget, we now are asking for approval of the annual budget. Each of you should have a paper copy of the annual budget at your seat. We will have an electronic copy of this available on our website after the board approves this. This is very similar to what we had presented in the past. The introductory section has the budget calendar. It has the budget definitions. These are definitions that come from DPI. DPI has a fairly scripted process on what this has to look like. Then in the financial section will be the budget resolution, which again is set by state law as to what it needs to look like. And then we break this down by purpose code, fund, and program report code. So each budget, each school system in the state of North Carolina will have a budget that has these 16 sections. And each funding source will have 2 sections. So just for one example, the State Public School Fund, Section 1 will be the expenses, Section 2 will be the revenues. And each of those has to balance. So whatever you budget as revenue, you also have to balance that as your expenditures. And you go through the state, local, federal, and capital, school nutrition, et cetera. So some of the changes from last year, as you already know, the county did provide us with an extra $500,000 of local funds. That's included in our budget. We also included the 4% increase in our salaries, as well as the 2+% increases in our employer benefits, and then also the reduced level of COVID funding. We know that's going down every year. This is our last year. COVID-3 funding will be expiring at the end of 2024. So the budget summary, our budget is $379 million, very comparable to where it was last year. You can see in this diagram that the state provides the substantial portion of our funding. It stands at 57%. Local and federal are close second and third. They're both at 14% of our funding. And you can see our COVID funding is at $27 million for this current school year. And when you look at where we spend these funds, and these purpose codes are set by DPI, instructional services is a substantial portion of that at 71%, system-wide support at 15%, and then the other items are less than that. So again, this is $379 million of funding. And so anytime we have a budget amendment or adjustment, those come to you on a monthly basis for your review and approval. As I've mentioned in the past, during a year, the state will give us 60+ amendments during the year. So that's why the beginning budget constantly changes as the state gives us more money, or sometimes they take some money away for allotments for charter schools or other items. So some of the factors that could affect our budget, you have internal factors. Over the last couple years, it's been a very competitive environment for compensation. So as that changes, that can affect our budget. Changes in technology, whether our technology is out of date or has to be replaced or is no longer supported. Continued school choice opportunities, both internally and externally. Remote learning options, whether they continue to come to Gaston County schools or go home schools. And then, of course, any unanticipated facility needs and what those may cost. Then, of course, the external factors that we have very little control over, changes in state and federal laws, COVID funding, whether they're going to extend that deadline or provide any unused funding. That changes from time to time. And, of course, the economy, inflation, and, of course, student population trends. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn it over to you for any
Ms. Guthrie, you have a
questions,
question?
discussion.
Mr. Hoskin, I have 2 questions. One, I see where the federal grants under that funding. Do we still need to apply for the McKinney-Vento homeless? Is that something that's done on an annual basis, or is that included in?
We are allotted those funds. Sometimes we apply for some supplemental funds, but there's a base level of funding that we get from McKinney-Vento and a lot of these other federal programs. But as I mentioned, we have our academic services team, our operations team. We will apply for any grant that we feel that we are eligible for and that we can use those funds to help support our students.
And the second one, which is most important, I don't see any money for school libraries. How are they allotted?
So school libraries would be in the instructional, and that's the 71%. Those would be any of the books, replacing the books, upgrading the books. As far as what we've done with the libraries over the past, as far as the physical upgrading of those, that would come under the capital portion.
Okay. So each school library will get some money
Yes, ma'am.
based on collection age and all that?
Correct, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Guthrie. Anyone else? This is an action item. Mr. Moore?
Mr. Chairman, make a motion we approve.
Okay. Have a motion second by Mr. Dedman. Any discussion?
Not discussion, his people have done a fantastic job, and this has been dragging out every year. I mean, and I want to say thank you, Gary.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they make it tough on us. All right, all in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have one other item.
Yes,
if I
you
may.
do. Adoption of the 2023 supplement funds for teacher compensation.
So as a part of the budget that the state just became law, House Bill 259, Section 7A.4 is entitled Supplemental Funds for Teacher Compensation. And what that does is that provides some recurring funding for our teacher supplements. They've been doing this, or they started this 2 years ago, so this would be the third year that they've done this. So what they require of the board is for you to authorize these funds to be paid to what we call the teachers, is really the teachers and the certified instructional staff. Or if I could be a little more general, anyone that is currently receiving the local teacher supplement, we're asking that they also qualify for the state teacher supplement. That's number one. Number two is to approve the amount. And unfortunately, with the budget just being approved or becoming law less than 2 weeks ago, DPI has not yet given us that amount. So what we would ask, the board, we're probably not going to have these funds for October. The October pay run is coming next month. If we wait until the November board meeting, that pushes you right up to the November because you got Thanksgiving. We'd like for you to authorize us to give a flat dollar amount to all that there's 2,300 qualified people. Last year, that amount was $843 for the year. So it's $84.30 per month if you're a 10-month employee. We believe it's going to be more than that because, as I presented in my previous slides, they're giving us $30 million more for teacher supplements. So we believe that number to go up, but we don't know how DPI is going to be allotting it because it's based on economic factors and things we really don't have control over. But you would hope that getting $30 million more would be more money for our teachers. So we would ask, maybe we bring it to the chairman or superintendent laws that whenever we get this funding, we can start moving forward with paying these teachers as quickly as we can. And so that's the two things that we're asking for. Authorization to pay all certified instructional staff that currently receive a local teacher supplement, the state supplement, and that we make this state supplement equal payments to all qualified full-time employees, net of retirement.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make that before a motion, and also to give Mr. Hoskins and Dr. Laws the opportunity to make those payments without us being.
Ms. Lovelace, second. Any other discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Gary. All right, next item on the agenda is our school improvement plan. Dr. Powers.
Good evening, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Laws. Tonight, I'm coming to you to present our drafts of the low-performing school improvement plans. A lot of what I'm sharing with you will be a review from our meeting earlier this month. But as a reminder, our school improvement plans, it is state law for all of our schools to have a school improvement plan, but specifically our low-performing schools should also have a plan. And so within 30 days of them being identified as a low-performing school, we do have to bring to you as the board their school improvement plans. So tonight I have provided you with all the logins actually for all 56 of our schools in our IndaStar platform, and Ms. Dana has a paper copy of our school improvement plans for you as well. Just keep in mind that these plans, while they're paper copy, are live documents. So if you want to see the changes that are being made, changes are being made even as we're talking. Tonight, there are probably some sit chairs in there making some changes to IndaStar. So that's why we provide you the logins, so you can go into the online platform as well to see any changes. So that location, again, is in IndaStar. We also refer to that as NC Star. They are one in the same, and we have provided you that link as well as every guest login for all 56 of our schools within our district. This is the platform that the state uses to support our school improvement planning. In the state of North Carolina, we do refer to it as NC Star. In the past, our low-performing schools have been required by the state to submit their school improvement plans using NC Star. We actually moved to NC Star platform for all 56 of our schools about 4 years ago. So all of our schools are using this platform along with our low-performing schools. And just to give you an update on our timeline, we are at our October 16th deadline, so I have brought those reviews for you, those school improvement plans for your review. Our parent letters have already been distributed. We're ahead of deadline for those. They have been distributed to all of the low-performing schools. Those letters are to let our parents know that their school has been identified as low-performing, and we share the grade along with their growth status for those parents and notify them of the measures we're taking to improve those schools, not only as the individual school, but as a district as well, how we're supporting them. And so we have that information there. And then on November 20th will be when we come back to you and ask for your approval of those school improvement plans. And that evening, after you approve those, we will submit those to the state on behalf of our 17 low-performing schools. As a reminder, as things are going on, as you're reviewing these plans and looking at those over these next 30 days, we also have the guest logins out on each school's website. So our parents are able to log in as well and review those plans. And tonight, after this meeting, we will upload a Google form where parents can submit any questions to our schools. We review that information with those principals before and prior to the November 20th meeting. All of our principals and SIT teams are required to review those school improvement plans at each monthly meeting. And as they're doing that, they're documenting the action steps that they have completed in implementing each indicator and strategy, as well as addressing any new action that they feel needs to be taken based on the current data within their school. While this is ongoing, the executive directors and myself, we are also looking at those school improvement plans and providing feedback to our principals and our SIT chairs of any improvements, kind of that outside looking in, to give them any feedback as well. They also have been assigned a state level coach who will review those plans once we have submitted them after our November 20th meeting, and we usually anticipate any feedback from them coming in late January, early February, and then we have about a month to respond to their feedback. Chairman Ramsey, that is all that I had.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Powers. Next item on the agenda is high school exam schedules, fall of 2023-2024 traditional high schools and Gaston Early College. This is an action item. Dr. Boston.
Yes, it is. Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, Superintendent Laws, good evening. And as Mr. Ramsey said, I do bring you an action item this evening. It is time for us to approve the fall high school exam schedule. As you all are aware, all of our high schools are required to give a final exam in all courses, and we are also expected to give those in the last 5 days of the semester. And so for our traditional calendar, the last day of the fall semester falls on Wednesday, December 20th. Therefore, the exam schedule would begin on Thursday, December 14th and run that 5 days until the 20th. And you see that all exams, teacher-made CTE and EOCs, would happen during those times for each period. For our early colleges, that semester ends on Friday, December 15th. Therefore, their exam schedule will begin on Monday, December the 11th. And again, they would give exams in all courses. And again, this is an item for action for your approval this evening.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Process. And as a board, we met October 7th, 2023, in a special call meeting. We spent time interviewing candidates to be considered for our next superintendent. We will continue this search process with the assistance of the North Carolina School Board Association. We look forward to sharing more information with our community as we make our way through this process. And again, thanks again for our employees, students, and the community for supporting this search with your participation in our survey, our community meetings, and your comments. We're grateful for your support receiving as we search for our next superintendent. And we're continuing to be grateful to have Dr. Laws to serve as our interim superintendent while we search. So the next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve consent? Ms. Cherry, Mr. A.M. Mr. A.M.
Mr. A.M.
It's P.M. Sorry, Mr. Stevens. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. This brings us to our meeting here from our superintendent, Dr. Laws.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we had some really exciting things. The Greer groundbreaking was just a terrific experience, other than it was really hot. But we had a wonderful turnout, and I'm very thankful for that. It's honestly my first one, so I had nothing to do with it, so it was really cool. So I'm so proud to work in a community that wants to take action on our facilities to the extent we can. I mean, they're expensive, but it was a fun day for all of us. We had parent-teacher conferences on Thursday, and I hope that those went well. I certainly didn't hear otherwise, and I'm thankful for that. Report cards go out this week on this Thursday, and so that will be an exciting day for many of our students, and not so good a day for a couple. But no, I think we'll have a lot of us have memories of those days, don't we? At least for a little bit. You just kind of wondered. But anyway, it's gonna be good. So report cards go out on Thursday. I'm probably going too far with that. That's why Todd sells these things out, but I don't have my glasses on. We have some fine arts performances on Thursday at Pinewood. We got a neat program. I think it begins at 6 o'clock, and I hope that some of us can make it to that. I don't think I'm going to get to make it to that, but I hope we'll have a good turnout for that at 6 o'clock on Thursday. We have also all-county chorus on Monday, the 23rd of October. It'll be held at Stuart Kramer at 7 o'clock, and then the marching band fanfare will be on Saturday, November 4th, from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. At the football stadium at Kramer High School. So, and for those coming to that on Saturday, November 4th, the price of admission is $10, and I hope we'll have good community support for that. The arts programs are not inexpensive, so it'll be a neat day for our bands to perform our chorus on October 23rd, which is a week from tonight. And I think that's my comments for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. As we close our meeting, thank you for your support of this board and Gaston County Schools. We're so proud of our schools and all your hard work you do for our students. So I'd like to ask for a motion to close session for personnel and consult with our attorney. Ms. Cherry.
Mr. Chair, I recommend that we go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A and 3 and 6 for consultation with attorney and personnel.
All right, second. Mr. Stevens. All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. We're in closed session. We're back in open sessions, and I'd like to ask our Vice Chair, Dot Cherry.
Mr. Chair, the lawsuit captioned Josiah Green versus Sean Golden, and the Gaston County Board of Education has been settled. The Board's insurer, Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, agreed to pay $30,000 to the plaintiff in exchange for full dismissal of the litigation. The settlement is not an admission of liability, but rather a strategic decision by the Board's insurance company to avoid the cost of further litigation, including possible appeals, and to obtain a dismissal and full release of all claims. A copy of the settlement agreement will be maintained in the Board's records.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Chair, thank you. The NCAE lawsuit against the board has been dismissed. The NCAE and the individual plaintiffs agreed to voluntarily dismiss their claims against the board with prejudice, and NCAE representatives and school administrators will continue to work together in the future on personnel matters. Insurance paid $20,000 in attorney fees.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen, and I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn. Mr. Chris, second. All in favor?
See you later.
Thank you. Good.